So, good day, sir. I am Jocelyn Carino, and I am the first discussant of our topic in campus journalism, which is the cartooning and layouting. So, first, let's define cartooning. Cartoons are often featured in print publication and online publication like blogs and websites. Sometimes cartoons will consist of just one picture, while others are consist of several pictures. The purpose of cartoons are to make the readers laugh about complex Korean political issues through the use of illustration. So the cartoonists utilize various strategies to engage the readers and represent their point of view, including exaggeration, uh, analogies, and irony. So the newspaper editorial cartoons are a graphic expression of their creators' ideas and opinions. So in addition, the editorial cartoon usually, but not always, reflect the publication viewpoint. So editorial cartoons are based on a current events. So there are qualities of an uh, effective cartoonist or cartooning. So it is editorial cartoons are based on current events. That means that they are produced under restricted time condition in order to meet publication deadline and often 5 or 6 per week. Yang deadline. So another is editorial cartoons like written editorials have an educational purpose. They are intended to make the readers think about the Korean political issues. Another one is it must use a visual and verbal vocabulary that is familiar to the readers. Editorial cartoons are part of the business, which means that editors or managers are uh, are having an impact on what is being published. Another one is editorial cartoons are published in a mass medium, in a bigger audiences, such as newspapers, news magazine, or the website. Another one is editorial cartoons are tied to the technology that produces them, whether it is printing press or the internet. So, for the printed cartoons, their size at the time of publication and the time of their publication and their placement kay on the front page of the newspaper. Anang editorial page kay or naa siya sa centerfold sa newspaper. So, it affects their impact on the readers kay. Kung naa siya sa front page, mabasa ra siya dayon or makita ra siya, ma-attract dayon sa readers. The addition of color may also change how readers respond to them. So, editorial cartoons are differ from comic strips. Differ siya in a way na ang editorial cartoons kay naga-appear lang siya sa newspaper editorial or sa front page lang siya. Not on the comics page. They usually employ a single panel format and do not feature continuing characters in the way that comic strips do. So, ang editorial cartoons are sometimes referred to as political cartoons kay they often deal with the political issues or the current events about political issues. Mao na siya. So, let's go on to what tools does the editorial cartoonist use to communicate ideas and opinions with the readers. So, the first one is the caricatures. Ang caricatures are drawing of public figures in which certain physical features are exaggerated. Caricatures of Richard M. Nixon, nagashow siya as needing to shave. Ano siya? Another one is stereotypes. Ang stereotypes are formulaic images used to represent particular groups. For example, kanang cartoon nga a mother might have messy hair or nagaware og apron or a mother that hold a screaming baby in her arms. Mao na siya ang ginatawag na stereotypical nga cartoons. So another one is symbols. Symbols are pictures that represent something else by tradition. Nagre-represent ang kana nga pictures sa tradition. So, for example a dove is a symbol for peace. Ang dove dito, mao to ang symbol, picture sa dove. Ano siya, by tradition kay ang peace. So another one is the analogies. Analogies are comparison that suggest that one thing is similar to something else. For example, the title of a popular song or a film might be used by a cartoonist to comment a current political event. Mga siya ang meaning sa analogies, the comparison of one thing that's similar to another thing. So the last one is the humor. So the humor is the power to evoke laughter or to express what is amusing. Like, ano siya, comical or absurd. So, that are the tools that use cartoonists to communicate ideas and opinions with the readers. So, let's go on to how can an editorial cartoon be evaluated. So, a good editorial cartoon combines a clear drawing and a good writing. A good editorial cartoon expresses a recognizable point of view or opinion. So, in the best instances, the cartoon cannot be read or understood by only looking by the words or only looking at the picture. Both the words and pictures must be read together in order to understand the cartoonist's message. So, not all editorial cartoons are meant to be funny. Some of the most effective editorial cartoons are not humorous at all. Humor is only one tool available to editorial cartoons man siya. But not all are funny though. So, editorial cartoons provide a window into history by showing us what people were thinking and talking about at a given time and place. Today's editorial cartoons will provide the same record of our own time. So, in conclusion, cartoons are an integral part of the newspaper, online news platforms. They have helped establish and sustain the people's attention to subjects such as political satire, social events, issues, economical disputes, or prominent individuals. Cartoon journalism also makes the citizen aware of the lighter aspect of the harsh and brutal information without reducing it to a laughing matter. So, cartoons convey a lot of information uh, and very few words. So, cartoons have behind them or they have emotions that are genuine and although harsh, but they are taken with a sense of humor. Cartoons provide a lighter alternative to traditional news reporting, providing a welcome break from increasingly depressing community and social dialogue. Cartoons provide accessible and immediate comments and analysis on current events due to their capacity to distill news and viewpoints into a caricatures. They are a unique form of journalism that cast a powerful interpretation of the daily news. They explain and explore stories in a manner articles that cannot. More effective than writing, they capture the exemplary human nature of their subjects in order to humanize the topic as they depict. Let's go on to the first one, which is the flexible theme and content. So it is the subject, theme, or content dominate the idea of a layout, which then gives an idea about the target audience and how they need to be approached to get a favorable result. So something that is meant to shock, alarm, or awaken the masses like an epidemic or terrorism need to have a bold and hard-hitting approach, whereas a film with a love story can have a softer and sensitive approach. The requirement of the subject leads to the style of the layout. Muna siya ang flexible theme and content. So another number 2 is choose the right type of layout. So a layout is the play and placement of given text and suitable images on a given surface area. Layouts can be classified in three categories: the text dominant, image dominant, and image and text dominant. So let's define the text dominant first. So the text dominant is like if there is too much or large text, then it will have to be text dominated. But from the layout, point of view, the headline could be used in a large display fonts occupying more area if that creates the desired effect. So, image dominant is kanang. These day layouts are seen regularly in our newspapers and magazine where a picture of a celebrity takes center stage or the product is shown in all its glory, like in a most automobile advertisement. So, image and text. So, in these types of layouts, image and text are used in equal measure and given a balanced exposure. Mo na siya ang image and text. Two na siya, duha na siya. Ang text na siya og ang image nag-give og exposure ana nga article or newspaper. So, number 3 is follows the grid system. The grid method encourages the designer to view the entire page surface as a total unit, breaking the area into subzones in which the elements are placed, rather than letting the layout develop from a copy in free-flowing, haphazard manner. So, text and visual can be distributed, leaving white spaces as required and suitable. So the first step is the grid system first divides the page into vertical and horizontal section of equal size. So the second step is the margins are added around each unit. So the margins indicate breaks between column of a copy or the breaks which would keep blocks of elements from coming too close to each other. So the division can now be used as required to place the text and the visuals. So copy the headline, logo, visual, and other such elements like this determine the grid format. The grid in turn determines the precise size and space. Another example is of an irregular grid. So this when used gives a more refined look. So ang tawag ani sa iya is dropping units. So in this case, the material to be used can define the design of the grid. So number 4 is the color and layout. So the color is very important factor in an advertising layout because it attracts attention of the readers. If an advertisement is colorful, it's obviously more attractive than provide discriminatively. Since the image reproduced is as good as real and the nature is properly and perfectly convey of color, it can be very advantageous. Color increases the degrees of attention and invites more audiences. So it increases memory value and layout efficiency. Also, it creates a pleasing rhythmic movement of the eye. Color has emotional qualities. So all colors convey a certain feeling or the emotion. So number 5 is copy and type. So copy and type is reading the content of the text and understanding the message always helps make a good layout. It is good to think that seriously about the written text, which is called the copy and a layout. It is not always the size of the font that facilitate readability. It's more often the space between words and lines that makes more effective and easier reading. So that would be all my part. Thank you for listening.